Chinese Air Force and Navy simulated face-to-face encounters with invading aircraft and warships in latest exercises. They took place the same day a U.S. destroyer carried out a freedom of navigation patrol in the contested waters. China's Air Force and Navy are keeping a close watch on U.S. freedom of navigation patrols in the South China Sea, and military experts expect saber rattling over the disputed waters to intensify. As both nations fight the coronavirus pandemic, the United States has now overtaken China as the country with the most cases in the world. The People's Liberation Army is expected to step up drills in the region to boost combat training. The latest were joint exercises by its Air Force and Navy that simulated face-to-face encounters with invading foreign aircraft and warships in the South China Sea on March 10, according to the official PLA Daily. The drills included searches of unidentified foreign aircraft with the help of surface vessels, and driving enemy planes out of China's airspace, even shooting them down with missiles to stop them from attacking Chinese warships. The report said those exercises took place the same day guided missile destroyer the USS McCampbell was conducting a freedom of navigation operation, the second by the U.S. Navy this year, near the contested Paracel Islands, according to a statement from the U.S. 7th Fleet. The islands and reefs are controlled by China but also claimed by Vietnam. A photo taken by the U.S. Navy showed a Type 054 APLA Navy frigate had been sent to track the American warship as it patrolled. The U.S. Navy said the Chinese frigate had warned the destroyer to leave the area. Colonel Li Huamin, a spokesman for the PLA's Southern Theater Command, later told the military newspaper that the U.S. has repeatedly flexed its muscles, been provocative and stirred up trouble in the South China Sea. Beijing-based military expert Zhou Chenming said the increasing number of American freedom of navigation patrols carried out in the South China Sea had given the PLA more opportunities for combat training. So far, all the weapon systems deployed by China in the South China Sea have been defensive, Zhou said. They included the HQ-9 missile defense system the PLA has deployed to artificial islands in the contested Spratlys chain. But the U.S. Navy's intensified live-fire exercises in the region will be an incentive for the PLA to stage more drills of its own. He added, tensions between the two militaries have been building in recent months. In February, the U.S. Navy said a Chinese destroyer pointed a laser at an American P-8A surveillance aircraft while it was on a routine operation over international waters about 610 kilometers (380 miles) west of Guam. China claimed the U.S. had abused freedom of navigation rights according to international law. In the Philippine Sea, near the East and South China Seas, warships from the U.S. Pacific Fleet led by the USS Theodore Roosevelt Aircraft Strike Group conducted a series of exercises in recent weeks, the U.S. 7th Fleet said on its Facebook page. That included a live-fire missile test on March 19, with guided missile destroyer the USS Barry and guided missile cruiser the USS Shiloh both launching a medium-range Standard Missile 2. Both the USS Barry and USS Shiloh were equipped with several types of missiles, such as the more aggressive Tomahawk cruise missile, but they didn't use them and instead tested the defensive SM-2 missile, Zhou said, adding that the Tomahawk cruise missiles would have been more of a threat to China's artificial island and military outposts in the South China Sea. Since Xi Jinping came to power in late 2012, Beijing has spent trillions of yuan to build 8 artificial islands, as well as more than 24 island outposts around disputed reefs and islets in the strategic waterway, where the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei and Taiwan all have competing territorial claims, allowing it to deploy missile batteries, radar systems and aircraft hundreds of miles from the Chinese mainland. Kai Le-yi, a military observer based in Taipei, said both China and the US had been trying to extend their military presence in the region. They are trying to move forward by testing the bottom line, but both have been very careful when they take a step because neither side wants to cause a real military conflict, Kai said. That's why the US Navy chose to stay in the Philippine Sea, and it has been just transiting the Taiwan Strait in routine patrols because Washington realizes that Beijing can't afford to lose Taiwan. The People's Liberation Army has started 2 large-scale military drills close to the Taiwan Strait, according to a notice from local Maritime Safety Administration. The exercises take place amid rising tensions between Beijing and Washington over the self-ruled island, including America's recent sale of $2 billion United States dollars hardware to Taipei. Ships were prohibited from entering the waters off the coast of eastern China's Zhejiang province between 6 p.m. on Saturday and 6 p.m. on Thursday due to planned military exercises, Zhejiang Maritime Safety Administration said in a brief notice on Sunday. In another notice, Guangdong Maritime Safety Administration said another set of military exercises would be held in the waters off Fujian province between Monday morning and Friday evening. No further information on which units are involved or the purposes of the exercises were given, but observers said they were part of a routine drill on the southeast coast that the Defense Ministry announced 2 weeks ago. In Taiwan's Ministry of National Defense said on Monday that the show of military muscle and Beijing's threat of using force against Taiwan has jeopardized regional security and stability. It also said that the island's military was constantly monitoring the situation and pledged to defend its sovereignty. This is the first war game to involve simultaneous exercises at 2 locations in the waters near Taiwan since the 1995–1996 Taiwan Strait crisis, during which the PLA conducted a series of large-scale live-fire exercises in response to then Taiwanese leader Lee Teng-hui's visit to the U.S. and ahead of the Taiwanese presidential election. Zhongping, a military commentator based in Hong Kong, said, "The main goal of the drills is to practice how to effectively maintain control of the sea and the air amid growing foreign interference in Taiwan affairs and serve as a warning to foreign forces that the PLA has the resolve to achieve reunification with Taiwan," Song said.